What I wanted to, before we start, what I wanted to do is, you have been attending these sessions since the last 2 weeks now, I believe. Yes. So what I want you to do is, in a notebook, I want you to draw the palm of your hand, if you can do that.
Nowadays, we have more draft papers, ma'am, rather than notebook.
I understand that. So you can take a rough paper from all the prints that you take. All right. I want you to draw two. Okay. One, and then the second one also. Two palms. Yes. Are you all done?
Sorry, can you please repeat the instruction, ma'am?
Yes. I said, in a paper, in any piece of paper, you draw two palms of your hand. Just trace out your hand on that paper.
Okay.
If you switch on your cameras, all of you, it will be just more interactive and more fun, because today is a very important topic with respect to your public speaking. Yes, are you done? Now, in one palm, I want you to write what all strengths in the finger portion. I want you to write what all strengths you feel that you have with respect to your speech. आपको क्या लगता है, आप में कौन सी अच्छी खूबियां हैं आपके स्पीच को लेके? So it may be confidence with respect to your content or your technical knowledge, or you may feel that your body language is really nice, or you may feel that you're pleasant to look at. So whatever you feel are your strengths, आपके जो काबिलियत है with respect to public speaking, I want you to write 5 of them in each of the fingers that you have drawn. Done? Okay, now in the next 5, I want you to write what all things that you feel you do not have, or what you would like to improve on, or your weakness with respect to public speaking, or your fears. आपको जो लगता है कि all these things I need to improve on, I don't have it in myself, or this is something that I want to develop. Done. All right. So would you like to share your strengths with me? Who would like to go first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Parag.
Yeah, strength is the presentation style,
Okay.
then body language, eye contact,
Mm-hmm.
and the content coverage. Those
Okay.
are the strength.
Okay, you could come up with just 3.
Yeah.
All right. What about
Weakness
your
has a long
weakness?
list.
Weakness is a long list. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I am here. Okay, so weakness is like modulation tone in speech,
Okay.
then vocabulary, and in-depth knowledge of the subject.
In-depth knowledge of your subject.
Yes.
Okay, fine. That is also just a short list. That's just 3, 2.
I guess it's like if you are considering modulation, tone, and speech in a group, then it's
Okay,
3.
modulation, tone, and
Tone and
speech, all
speech.
3 are in different. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
I'm
All right.
dividing in a different category.
Okay, fine. Okay, good. Thank you for sharing that with me. We'll discuss on that. All right, very good, very good. Yes, who else would like to share? Yes, Shripad.
On positive side, I would like to say research, passion about the content,
Very good.
hand gestures,
Mhm.
pauses, and voice modulation.
Lovely.
On negative side, I will put vocabulary, the art of storytelling, the structuring of presentation,
Okay.
fillers,
Lovely.
elaboration, and pace.
And
I
pace.
speak, yeah, I speak quite fast.
I don't think so. I think your speech was quite fine for me.
But
While delivering
many
a
times,
lecture, that's what you're saying. When you get
Yeah.
nervous, you tend to speak faster.
yes, I do.
Okay, I get
And
that.
yes. And when I have
All
to
right.
convey a lot of information, I just couldn't wait to tell them. Yes. So
Okay, that's great. That's great. Lovely. Thank you so much. Yes, who would like to share? Who else? Yes, Ria.
Technical knowledge, advantages, creativity, time management,
Lovely. Very nice.
and body language.
Okay.
And on the weakness part, voice modulation, confidence, and public involvement.
Public involvement in the sense?
Interaction with the public, eye contact.
Okay, fine. All right. Okay. And what did you mean by, you said presentation? You said confidence, sorry.
Yes.
So confidence is with respect to you get nervous just with the thought of coming on stage, or it is stemmed by something else? It is because of something else. Huh?
I get nervous by like stage पे आना है, बोलना है.
Stage
but-
fear. Okay, it's stage fear basically.
Yeah.
All right, great, fine, fantastic. Yes, yes, Ankur.
Yes, I mean, strength, knowledge, experience, and over language, content and presentation, and look wise, you carry yourself, and then the weakness, confidence to customers, more
Confidence
experience
to,
about
I'm sorry, your
speaking.
voice is breaking a lot, so I'm not able to.
Okay.
Yeah, can you just speak again?
In the weakness, it is like confidence to connect to the listeners, to the
Okay.
crowd like that.
All
And
right.
more experience about speak. I mean, the more you take sessions, the more experience you gain.
Yeah.
And then again, a more command on the subject, like more command on the subject, more thorough command on the subject.
Okay.
Having more command.
All right, more command on the subject. Okay, lovely. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes, you're done. And who else raised his hand? Yes, who would like to go next? Yes, Ruchi?
My positive side is time management, speech and voice, and analytical skill.
Very good.
And negative side, I have the stage fear, lack of confidence, and vocabulary.
Okay, stage fear you've written separately and you've written lack of confidence separate. Why so?
Lack of confidence, I feel sometimes that I have not proper content or not proper presenting skill.
You do not have proper presentation skills, because I think content is something that is your strength, right? You feel that you have great analytical skills, so I'm sure you must be having good content also.
Yes.
Okay, all right, no worries, well done, very good. Okay, yes, who else? Yes, Krishna Kumar.
My good qualities are time management, focus with the slide to the point, and I hesitate at my negative point is I hesitate while speaking, and eye contact, I can't maintain eye contact for a longer time.
Okay. You get a little nervous.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Great. I believe you've already been taken through the eye contact and everything in body language, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is why you know you have this problem. That's great. Very nice. Yes. Who else? Yes, the people who have not switched on their cameras. Uh, yes, Dimple, Riddhi, Chevy. Any one of you would like to share? Okay. All right. So the good part is because of these sessions, probably you have realized that there are certain things that are lacking in you and which you need to develop, correct? Now, I could make out from a few of you that vocabulary was one thing that that really set you back, that you feel that you would not have enough words to express what you want to say. Basically, what is vocabulary? Can anyone tell me?
Nice collection of the words and framing it in the language.
Collection of words and framing it in a sentence, right? Okay, that's great.
I think
Yes, Shripad? Yes, yes.
I think synonymous of different words like
Synonyms of different words. Yes.
important than essential and many of the meaning of the same word. I can say.
Yes, yes, yes. There are many, many words to say the same thing. Some words are more fancy and
Yeah.
some words are not so fancy. And somehow we have this thought in our mind that the more fancy words we speak, the more we sound intelligent, right? This is what the misconception that we all have कि जितना हम fancy words बोलेंगे, overwhelm the other person like Shashi Tharoor does. कि if you're saying the more fancy words you say, the more confused he gets and he feels wow 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 kya baat hai, he speaks so well.
Right.
Yes, but I'll tell you that this is a great misconception. The greatest speeches that have ever been made have been made in the most simplest of languages. You know why? Is because the more people who get to hear you, the more people who will understand you, and the more people who will follow you. So instead of speaking very fancy words, it's better to simplify your words. And having said that, do not use too many words. I'm sure you also know a few words. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing what are power words, and we'll be doing at what words you need to use instead of words that we commonly use. Okay. Yeah. Now coming back to vocabulary. Yes. So someone said that it's knowing as many synonyms as possible for a particular word. Someone said using a lot of words to make a sentence. The more words you know, the better it is. Yes. Absolutely correct. Anybody else wants to share anything?
Bit of pronunciation also.
Yes, pronunciation is very, very important. Okay, so you may know a lot of words, but if you don't pronounce them correctly, again, it's appa dappa jappa. Nobody knows what you're talking about. And English language is such, it is extremely funny. Okay, there is no logic whatsoever. And I'm realizing this now that I've started teaching my daughter. She's just 6, and she gets so frustrated because she writes as she hears, like in Hindi or Gujarati, right? There are sounds. तो प को प ही लिखते हैं, बट इन हिंदी प को PH भी लिख सकते हो, P भी लिख सकते हो, TP भी लिख सकते हो. And still, you don't realize that iska pronunciation kya hoga, what will be the pronunciation of that word, right? So pronunciation is a big, big problem with all of us. Yes. Now coming back to vocabulary, many of us feel that we do not have the vocabulary. Just a fun fact, do you know in order to be fluent in a particular language, how many words do you need to know of that particular language? Can you make a guess? Can you make a guess that how many words that you need to know?
20%.
No, not percentage. I need a whole number. Hmm. Yes. How many?
1,000.
Sorry?
1,000.
Just 1,000. 1,000 was मैंने अभी बोल दिए.
1 lakh.
No, 1 lakh is just too much. Actually, it's just 10,000 words. Okay. If you know just 250 words in a particular language, you will be able to understand that language on a basic level. Okay, then as and when you know more and more, like 1000 to 3000 words, you are at a medium level, and 10,000 words is considered very, very fluent. Okay, that you can exactly express your thoughts the way you think, you can express it in that language without any interruptions, without any fillers, like I know, you know, that sort of things. Okay, so in order to be fluent in a language, you need to know at least 10,000 words. Now, if you list down the words that you already know, I'm sure you already stand in the 1000 to 3000 category, right? Because in CA itself, there are so many words. While studying, we have come across so many words that usko bhi hum ikhatta kar dein, so it comes to about 1000 to 3000 words. So we're already there. Okay, but we all tend to feel that we do not have appropriate vocabulary. No, I don't think vocabulary is a problem with any of us. You know the required number of words in order to speak. I'm pretty confident of that, all of you. The problem is grammar. Okay, we tend to speak like, you know, I've heard many CAs also use the wrong pronunciation, use the wrong tenses while speaking. Sometimes people's बोल देते हैं, children's बोल देते हैं, women's बोल देते हैं. Yes, all of these are wrong. Okay, it's people, it's not people's. It's children, not children's. It's women, not women, women's. Okay, so you need to know what is the right way of speaking. And we know this, but while speaking, we tend to forget. So I think the more practice needs to be done with respect to your grammar. Okay, so now I'll be giving you tips on how to improve your grammar also by the end of the session. But right now we are going to concentrate on public speaking. Okay, this was a very challenging thing for me to do because English is something that would take very long time to teach, but I still wanted to make it very, very impactful. So I'm just going to concentrate on public speaking. Okay, all of you are on the same page with me right now? Yes. So now we are going to talk about how you can use English effectively to deliver a very impactful speech. Okay, how to use English, whatever you know already, how you can use it to deliver a more impactful speech. So now, if you analyze any of the speeches, the great speeches of the world, what you can conclude is that is the use of power words. Okay, what are power words? I'll come to that later. First, what we'll do is we'll play a little game. Okay, I want you to tell me one word for these words that I am giving you, because we tend to use very too much. I'm very happy, I'm very sad, this is very disturbing. Okay, now what are the words that you can use instead of using very? I'm sure you already knows those words, so let's see how many of them you know. Okay, just give me a second, I'll just open this for myself. Okay, what do you say to very beautiful? Is there any one particular word that you can use for very beautiful?
Adorable.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous, very nice. Yes, Ruti? You said
I
something?
said adorable. Yeah.
Adorable, very good. Anything else?
Fabulous.
Fabulous, lovely. What else?
Charming.
Charming, okay.
Outstanding.
Outstanding,
Pretty.
very beautiful and outstanding. Okay, fine, I'll take that. Yes,
Pretty.
Pretty.
I'm sorry.
Pretty.
Pretty,
Pretty.
okay. Very beautiful, pretty, okay. Pretty is not very beautiful. Pretty is beautiful. Okay, great, fantastic. Very angry. One word for very angry.
Furious.
Lovely. Furious, yes. What else?
I don't know whether it is correct or not. Annoying.
Annoying, yes, it can be. See, it depends on the context
Yes.
of what you are
Anxious.
speaking.
Tempered.
Anxious is not angry. Anxious is feeling stressed. Okay.
Tempered.
Tempered. Tempered is a different thing. It's a high temper. but tempered means something different. हम जो वघार करते हैं ना खाने में उसको tempering बोलते हैं. So tempered is a different word altogether. See, now this again gives you the idea that one particular word, if used in a different way, changes the meaning of that word, right?
Yeah,
So
ma'am.
now whenever
What
we are
can be
learning, yes,
very angry, hot,
hot. Okay, you can say the word hot-headed. That means
hot-headed,
that
right?
person has a very high
Hot-headed.
temper. So you can use the word hot-headed.
Very
Right?
right. Very right.
Yes, absolutely. So you've all heard of this word hot-headed as well. याद नहीं आता है ना? Yes. What else? Okay, I'll come to the other word. Very big.
Huge.
Giant.
Huge. Yes.
Giant.
Huge. Then
Giant.
sorry.
Giant.
Giant. Yes.
Massive.
Massive. Great. So now just listen to this word. The tax liability on the company was very big. Okay, that's one sentence. The tax liability on the company was massive. Which sentence do you think has a bigger impact?
Massive.
Second one.
Massive. See, now this is the power of words. Okay, so now I say that she was looking very beautiful today. As compared to she was looking gorgeous today. Which gives an instant tongue in the brain. I mean, it immediately shows a picture in front of you.
Gorgeous.
It's the second sentence, right?
Second
And it's
sentence.
also the way that you say it. Normally what happens, so this is the beauty of power words. We'll still do a few more. Very short.
Tiny.
Tiny. Small.
Tiny, small.
Meager.
Nutshell.
Sorry,
Nutshell.
Meager.
in a nutshell. Yes, nutshell means to summarize, but okay.
Dwarf.
Very small, you said vast.
Dwarf.
Dwarf, yes, dwarf. Very good, very good.
Narrow.
Narrow,
Meager.
meager, excellent.
Little.
Little. How about brief?
Yeah.
Yes, very good. Excellent words you're coming up with. Lovely. What about very cold?
Freezing.
Chilled.
Freezing,
Chilled.
chilled. That place was very cold. That place was freezing. Now you see the impact of these words. Very good. What else? Very hungry,
Famished.
famished. Excellent word. What else?
Starving.
Starving. Yes. Mom, I'm very hungry. Mom, I'm starving. When you use the word starving, she immediately serve you food. See, so this is what I wanted to draw your attention to, is the use of words. Okay, words are basically the biggest arsenal that we have. It's the biggest artillery, you know, that you have at your disposal. So when you make a speech, you want the audience to connect to you emotionally as well. Now, words have that power to do so. So now when you're using words like these power words that we just talked about, it just creates an instant mental image. So power words are nothing but words that evoke a strong emotional response. Now, this I'm talking purely from a psychological perspective. Okay, so psychologists have studied the impact of certain words on the human psyche. And you know what? The fun thing is, the word that evoked the strongest response, you know what it was? It was sale. The moment the word sale came on the board, on the monitor, and they were analyzing the impact, you know, instantly वो सारे बत्तियां जलने लग गई थी दिमाग में. So these are words that, you know, there are certain words, and if you see advertisements, I hope from now on you'll start noticing them. print ads, advertising, headlines. Now there are special classes that are being conducted for writing, for content writers. So what do content writers do? They write headlines, they write basic content, they write the words, search words, and they do all this stuff. So they are given training on the use of power words. Why? Because they want an instant emotional connect of the audience. They want an instant emotional connect of whoever is watching, so that they immediately go and purchase. So it's sale, okay, then it is buy now, okay, stuff like that. Now when we are talking about speeches, it is much better if we start using words like these that we all talked about right now, instead of using words like very big or very small, or it was very interesting. Okay, try to find out alternate words whenever you're writing your own speech. While speaking, try to find out alternate words that you can write in place of these words. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, there are also certain I've developed a list of power words. Actually there are many. If you google it, if you google the term power words, you will get from 30 to 250, 500. And you can also get it in categorization to evoke fear, to evoke happiness, to evoke any kind of a sadness. So all of these, for all of these emotions also, they have certain list of power words. So I would start suggesting that start using such words whenever you are going to make a speech. Okay, so that's one thing. Now, secondly, what we're going to do is, I'm going to, because I want to hear you speak. I have not attended any of the previous sessions. So, and we have very less time for me to give you a proper speech to speak. Okay. So what we're going to do is, we're going to have a group discussion. All right. I'll be giving you a topic. But before giving you a topic, there are certain things that I want you to keep in mind. So the first thing is functional language. Okay, how do you start speaking? What are the phrases that you need to use in order to start speaking? What are the phrases that you need to use to evoke certain kind of reactions from the audience? What are the certain questions that you can use to force the audience to think about what you're speaking? Okay, what are certain phrases that you can use to disagree? What are phrases that you can use to agree? Okay, I'm going to share this on my screen right now, and I also share it to you through WhatsApp, so that you can continuously you can refer to it whenever you have to say something. Okay, so right now I'm going to share this functional language on my screen right now. I want you to go through it very carefully. Okay, that's number one. Once we are done with functional language, we'll also discuss it. In case you do not understand anything, we will go through it. So once that's done, then again, I will share a list of power words. I have a list of 108 power words, which I'll share with you. I just want you to go through that as well. Once we have gone through both of them, what we can do is we will have a group discussion. In the group discussion, I will give you a topic. I'll give you each 30 seconds. So in the group, since we have just, I thought there will be more participants, but since we are just 17, so bearing me and of course the host, I guess there are just 15. So we can have two groups. If the rest are willing to contribute, okay, we can have two groups. In one group, I'll give a topic, and I will require you to use those functional phrases that you just went through. Use those power words and give a speech. Okay, you do not have to give a very long speech, just a 30-second speech. All of you are clear? Yes. Okay, and the moment I said speech, 2 or 3 people just left. Okay, fine. So right now I'm going to share a list of functional words. Okay, just give me a second. This list of functional language is basically to make you look more professional, more impactful, and more polite. Okay, so I'll just share my screen right now. Yes, are you all able to see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so I have, so this is a very short list, but to begin with, I think this is sufficient for you right now. If you can just start using these phrases while talking, even in your normal day-to-day conversations. So I'll give you 5 minutes, and in the meantime, I will also share this with you on WhatsApp.
Ma'am, just a small question.
Yes.
For disagreeing, can we use like sorry to say, but I am not agree to you? Can we use that?
Sorry to say.
Sorry to say, but I do not agree with you.
Yes, sorry to say, but I do not agree with you. Yes, it's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Yeah, in a discussion or a debate, or where you do not agree with that person, it's absolutely okay to say this. You know, the thing is, even while speaking, it's always better to avoid the use of sorry where you're not feeling sorry. Okay, I'm sure you don't feel sorry in disagreeing with that person. So instead of that, what you can actually say is, I get your point, I understand what you're trying to say. However, what I feel is, and then you can start speaking, because you do not actually need to feel sorry for not agreeing to that particular person, right? These are known as minimizing words. Minimizing words is, for example, yes, I have a very small practice, okay, or yes, I just have about 2 or 3 degrees. So these are known as minimizing words. हम खुद के ही accomplishments को छोटा कर देते हैं. So try to avoid using such words because you have worked hard for it. Instead of saying I have a small practice, just say I'm a practicing chartered accountant. Okay, it just looks more impactful. The other person does not need to know how small or big it is, and it is not for him to judge as well. These phrases will also help you when you have to do the question answer round at the end of your speech with the audience. Okay, so you can also use these phrases when you are answering their questions. We'll be doing handling audience, tips on handling audience tomorrow. Have you all gone through this? Yes? Okay, great. So is there any question that you would like to ask with respect to this? Done? Okay, fine. Now I'll share with you a list of power words. Now, when you just glance through those power words, you will see, "Arey, isme kya hai?" But when you're peppering your speech with these words, you'll realize the importance of it. Just like right now, when we discussed, when I said very beautiful and you said gorgeous, immediately when I used it in a sentence, I hope that you realize what the impact of gorgeous has with respect to very beautiful, right? So this is the impact. So any word that has a psychological reaction is known as power words. So these are list of power words. They're very normal words which we tend to use in our daily conversations as well. But unfortunately, we don't tend to remember them. So when we are giving a speech, we use very nominal, very normal words. But instead of that, what I want you to do is next time you write a speech, I want you to replace those nominal, normal words with these words. Okay, I'll just share that with you. Yeah, there. If you do not understand any word, please let me know. These words have been collected purely, as I said, from a psychological perspective. So, based on the analysis of psychologists of what words have the most impact, these were the words that were listed down. So, you do not have to make your entire speech based on these words, but it would be great if you could use 5 or 6 of such words in your speech, depending on the context in which you are speaking. Okay.
And just a small question. How to compare is a power word? Isn't it a normal routine language?
It is normal routine language. It is normal routine language. But the only thing is, these are such words that evoke a strong reaction in the listener's brain. Okay,
Comparing
like
is
for
a word we
example,
often use it.
sorry,
Comparing is a word we often use it.
comparing is a word we often use. Yes, this is probably from a speech perspective. Okay.
Okay.
For example, when you use the word huge and you say whopping, okay, it just gives a different kind of an impact. You feel that there's whenever words are spoken, some words have the ability to create a mental picture in your mind. Okay, so when certain words are used, for example, like I say, smash. Okay, smash instantly makes a picture in your brain of something breaking. Okay, something forcefully breaking. Correct. So these are such words that create a mental image in your mind. So now, when you're talking to an audience, you want that audience to be with you. You do not want them to get bored or drift away. They want you to hold on to each word that you are saying, or at least get the gist of what you're trying to speak. So now in that case, you need to use certain words that creates a mental picture in their minds. So for that purpose, these words are helpful.
Away is also power word.
Sorry?
Drift away is also a power word.
Drift away.
You use.
Yes, yes. Drift away is also a power word. Okay, another thing, Parag, I see that you use a lot of, like I said, you use a lot of minimizing words. I just have a little question. No question is little,
Yes.
and there
Okay.
is no such thing as just. I have a question. Okay, try to be more impactful when you are speaking. It'll create a whole new confidence in yourself.
Okay.
Don't try to minimize yourself. Don't try to make yourself fit into a small space. Okay, you are there in this world to do certain things. So it's okay. If you have a question, you say, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Even in the speech as well, whenever you have to give an opinion, just have an opinion. No, I have an opinion. I want to say something. Unless and until you don't give weightage to your opinion, nobody else is going to give. So if you say, I have a little doubt, the little doubt will just vanish away. I have a doubt. See, when I say I have a doubt, as is compared to I have a little doubt, the little doubt seems, ये तो छोटा सा है, इसमें बोलने में क्या जरूरत है? And I have a doubt, yeah, I will take notice. Yes, what is your doubt? You get it?
Yeah. Thank you.
See, these are little things that you need to incorporate in your speeches, in the way as you speak, in the way that you communicate, to appear more confident and impactful. And you'll also see that it has impact on yourself as well. Words also have an impact on your testosterone levels. They make you feel more confident. Okay, so we'll come to that for another day. But I hope all of you have now got a gist of what I'm trying to say through these power words. Anything that
Yes.
you would like to ask me with respect to the meaning of anything, if you want? Everybody?
Reason.
Meaning of brazen.
Brazen. Okay, brazen means in a way it means shamelessly. Okay. The Taliban had a brazen display of power. Okay, मतलब खुलेआम. They were not scared of anything. It was not a covert operation. It was not कि अंदर चुपके से जाके उन्होंने कर दिया. No, खुलेआम कर दिया. The revolt was very in your face.
And sneaky.
Sneaky is the opposite of brazen. Sneaky means बड़े चुपके से कर दिया कुछ काम. You sneak into the living room, you sneak into something, or you know, our laws also have a tendency to sneak into the main thing, right? And it catches you off guard कि हमने we never saw this coming, kind of a thing. चुपके से आ गया, हमें पता ही नहीं चला. That is known as sneaking. Sneaky clause, we say this is a very sneaky clause in any particular law. All right? Right? Okay, cool. What I'll do is I'll share both of these lists with you through WhatsApp. Okay, and you can definitely practice them whenever you're writing your speeches. I'm sure we'll be having more mocks. We have a mock next week on Tuesday as well. And I believe it's a physical mock. You'll have to come and deliver your speech. I hope all of you are aware of that. Yes, two of us will be there to just gauge what your speech and give you feedback with respect to what you need to improve on. All right. Now, meanwhile, what we're going to do now is I'll give you a topic. The rest of you, I really don't know whether you're listening or you're not listening. Ankur, Riya, Riddhi, Ankita, Shevi, Dimple, Jyoti, are you all there? Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are there. That's great. So what I'm going to do is we are very few, so we can probably not make groups and all of you can participate. I will give you a topic. What I want you to do is I'll give you 2 minutes for you to just gather your thoughts with respect to the topic. The topic is very mainstream. It's nothing very that nobody knows about. Okay. So now I'll give you 2 minutes to just gather your thoughts with respect to the topic. And then each person will get 30 seconds to speak. I'll be timing your speech. Okay. I'll cut you off once your 30 seconds are over. Done. I'll be doing it through my smartphone. Then the other person will get a chance to speak. Okay. So that's number one. You just get 30 seconds to speak. You get 2 minutes to prepare. Now, when you start speaking, because it is your opinion. So the topic that I'm giving you is basically I'm asking for your opinion on this particular topic. So you will have to use the opinion sentences. So in my view, personally speaking, I think so. You can start your sentences with these particular functional phrases. All right. Another thing is after your 30 seconds are over, the field will be open for you to discuss what the other said. So now to do that, what you have to do is you'll need to note down a few points. Okay. For example, if Parag has something that said something that Ruchi does not agree with. So what Ruchi can do is just write down the point that Parag said that she needs to counter later on. Okay. It is a group discussion. So she can say, yes, I heard what Parag said. Parag said this and this, but however, my opinion is this and this. Okay. So you can counter someone's opinion by saying this. Another thing is when the group is open to for discussion, at that time you can contradict each other, you can interrupt each other, but you have to do so very politely. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but, and then you can start speaking. Okay, I'm sorry, this is going out of topic. This is really going taking a different tangent. We should get back to the topic. You can also say such words or phrases. Are you all clear? Try to pepper your speeches with as many power words as you just saw. I'll be sending to you on WhatsApp. What I'll do right now is write your topic in the chat box, the first topic, okay, and then we will see about it. I'll be giving you feedback and then we'll do another topic. We'll practice again. Okay. So the first topic is Yeah, and another thing is everybody in the group has to compulsorily speak. Okay, there is nothing about the topic that you do not know about. I'm pretty sure all of us are educated, all of us know what is going on in this world right now. So it's not possible that you do not have an opinion. So everybody has to compulsorily speak. Whatever they think, they need to speak. Okay, so the first topic is, I'm going to write it in the chat box. Work from home option. The option to work from home should be compulsorily be given by employers to employees even after the pandemic. Okay, that is your topic. Yes, anybody, you need to ask any question? You did not understand any part of this? What I need is your view with respect to work from home now being an option forever. Even after the pandemic is over, you can go to the employer and demand a work from home option. Okay, I want to know your views. I want to know what will be the effect of it. I want to know you to give me various thoughts. What can be the effect for it? Whether it is good, whether it is bad, whatever your opinion is with respect to work from home, given as a compulsory option by employers. By law, it is mandated by employers to give work from home option. Okay, you can think about it, and meanwhile I'll share those two pictures with you. One is about the functional language and the second is power words. Okay. I have sent both of these images to you on WhatsApp. You have 1 more minute left. Okay. So yes, who would like to start? Okay,
Yes.
Parag is starting.
In my opinion, work from home temporarily that too in the pandemic time is definitely the need of the hour. But in the long run, it can vanish the real work culture, and there will be no difference in the professional and the personal life in future.
Okay, all right. Yes. Yes, I think Shripad raised his hand first.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes,
ma'am.
Shripad.
Can I say?
Yes, Shripad.
I-
Go ahead.
Yes. So, ma'am, in my opinion, providing an compulsory option for work from home could be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it could undermine the focus of the employee because there are lots of distractions at home and stuff. Uh, it can undermine collaboration between employees. It can the collaboration that nurtures creative thinking, it can undermine that. It can also deprive the employees from the sense of community. Many of times the workplace colleagues are sometimes like our second family, so it can deprive employees of that feeling. And it can also deprive employees from networking and other stuff. However, on the other hand, there are wide spectrum of people, and everybody needs you can't apply one size fits all formula for everyone. Everybody needs its own conducive environment to work effectively and efficiently. Everybody needs other his own time to focus, and moreover the traveling time is just inefficient. There is no productivity while traveling.
Very good.
So in my opinion, yes, it's a very hard decision but uh, these are my points. Thank you very much.
Very good, Shripad. Well done. Yes, Parth. Sorry, I think Ruchi raised her hand first. Yes, Ruchi.
Yes. Like a coin, there is always a two side of any situation.
Very good.
And as per my view, work from home was the only option during the enforcement of lockdown during the pandemic time. But
Mhm.
afterwards, it felt that there are some jobs and services in which work from home facility is not possible. Like manufacturing and marketing staff can't do work from home.
Correct.
Okay. So, in my view, yes, the working from home could be the advantageous, and it can be proven like advantageous for females and all, but it is restricted to some service industry only.
Right. Very good.
So
Very
it
good.
depends. Yes.
Lovely. Very nice. Yes, Parth.
I'm totally agree with the Ruchiji. Of course, work from home is depend on the industry wise. Like in manufacturing sector, we can't given a permission from work from home. Ultimately, it's effect on the our business. So, in case of service sector and in case of any other industries, which are like account department, information technology department. In that case, we can allow the work from home to the employee. But in case of manufacturing activity, so laborers and many of the people have to run the machine by attending the office itself. So in that case, no need to given a permission work from home because it's ultimate effect on our business.
Okay. All right. That's great. Very good. Yes. What about the others? Everybody has to speak. Yes, Dimple.
Yes, ma'am. From my point of view, giving an option of work from home is a good thing. For both the employers and employees. For employers, it is good because it gives them cost cutting benefit to some extent. And for employees, especially if we see for women employees, or if we see that the employees who travel from different cities to work at a place,
Mhm.
for them, work from home option is good. But
Mhm.
I understand that for every industry, every type of worker, it is not possible. So it should be done.
Very
And
good.
also, if the women get work from home option, she can also manage the work, home work, or etc., and taking care of it, their parents, etc., father-in-law, mother-in-law. It can be done more easily.
Yes.
So it becomes more convenient for both the sides.
Okay, great. Great. Yes. Yes, Krishna Kumar.
Yeah, ma'am. In my opinion, I think don't if we think from the other point of view, as an employer in his position, it becomes a different. The answer changes. As an employer, he requires a full creative staff, and with creative staff, we need the energy and time of the staff. So it becomes a easy part if we look from both the point of view. So as an employee, it will always employer will always be in the position that all the staff is at his ease. So work from home can hamper the work or business which they are running.
Okay, so you think from the employer's point of view, it is not suitable. Okay,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
all right. Yes, Ankur.
Hello. The world of working has seen and accepted the stance that work can be done without boundaries.
Absolutely.
WFH, as we call it, work from home, has become a common word, and all of a sudden, it has speared into everyone's work life. Certain platforms like Zoom, Cloud, etc., have enabled interaction with the use of technology. It has helped employees to work and spend time for other spheres of life. For employers, it has saved costs and it has enabled getting more time for work from their employees. In our profession also, it has enabled us to get work done without physically meeting by getting work done through soft copies. It has opened a new era of work culture.
All right. So according to your opinion, it is
It
good.
is,
It is a way forward. Whether
yeah,
you
it
like it
has
or
opened a
not.
new era which is to be decided what goes in for it. Like that. It has opened a new era of work culture.
Okay, that's nice. Very nice. Yes. Yes, the rest who have not spoken yet. Jyoti?
Yes, ma'am. There are both the sides for work from home, maybe darker side and brighter side. But I'll go for the brighter side. In my opinion, the work from home option should be given. Mainly considering me as a woman, I'll take it as a brighter side. As we are benefited with flexible schedules, whenever we have some homework or whenever we have like nurturing children, we can have breaks in between. We can have better time management. The traveling time is cut it off, and everything is managed properly, including office work.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Well done. Well said, Jyoti. Yes. Yes. Anybody else? Who else is left? Ankur, Vidhi, Kenil, Ankit? Yes, anybody would like to contribute? Dimple, you have raised your hand again. You like to further speak?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you can lower your hand then.
Okay.
Okay, lovely. I think excellent points made by all of you. Shripad, I think your vocabulary is really, really good. What you need to do is just curtail on the use of fillers. Like that was too much. Because of that, what you said, the impact of what you were speaking was lessened, right? Okay. So okay, sorry. I totally forgot. You need to now discuss amongst yourselves about what each other think, and then I'll be giving my feedback. I'm so sorry. Yes. Now the field is open for you to counter or discuss or agree with what anybody else has said?
Most of the people have been diplomatic. How can they argue?
Very, very diplomatic.
Yeah,
GD
majority.
should be against or favor. It was diplomatic.
Yes,
Yeah.
Still, I would like to ask
majority of
Jyoti.
the person
Still, I
has
would like
given
to
the
ask
diplomatic
Jyoti.
answer.
Still, I have a question for the Jyoti because he is like me, that against or favor. Jyoti, can you hear me?
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes, please.
yes, you have rightly said that female have a freedom of the time. She can work whenever she is ready. So just a simple question: is it really possible to focus more on the work when children are around you, your families are around you? It might happen that you are working and maybe your mother-in-law or your husband is calling you that please just come up for a moment. So that is just a question: is it possible? Because in a work you will be only focusing on the work. You can give 100%.
Yeah, and what happens? See, there are many people in the family, and even they also know that every time you cannot disturb them calling ke mere liye pani leke aao. You get up and get me some chapatis cooked for me. Even they know. So when I get started at 11 o'clock, I finish up my work. Then maybe my husband or maybe my mother-in-law, she'll take care of my child. Then in between, when it is her sleep time and my lunch break, 1 or 1:30, I can take care of her. I can make her sleep. And then 2 to 3 hours when she's sleeping, I can take care of my office work. I can easily complete it. I can concentrate on my work. Then it is okay. Matlab, I don't think so that it is disturbing me anything like this.
Personally, if I
But
ask you, you see
yeah,
yourself working like this for next 15 or 20 or 25 years. Is it possible?
I'm been working since last year.
And
Okay, one
you are
thing
okay
is,
and happy with
I
the
like to
My
pace.
interrupt. One
Parag,
second. I like to
I
interrupt over
think your
here.
doubt is very correct, but Jyoti is also rightly saying that it depends on the industry nature in which you are working. So there are some industries, even I also working since last 1.5 year from home. And Jyoti rightly said it is very helpful for us having a small kid and managing home and work both. So it is very beneficial for us. Being a woman, we are always in favor of such kind of option if we will adopt in future as well.
Yes,
Very good.
I would like to
I would
add one
support
more
the
point.
notion
there
that is
there
coming around for
there
women
is
Yes,
that
Ankur.
during the
Yes, sir.
time when you need, you can work from home. But I'll also support what Parag has said. Do you think working in that fashion for the uh, abundance of time that you have on hand in future? I mean, once your kids start going to school, and then the work environment definitely makes an impact. Like if we go to office, there's more output. If you are at home, the output is comparatively less. We want to interact into the work environment. We want to see what is happening in the commercial spaces. I mean, there's a distinction which we always can feel. I really learned it from one of the industrialists who said कि जब हम घर आते हैं हमसे काम ही नहीं होता, and when we are in the industry हमसे we work and we are not about home like that. I mean, I'm not conflicting anything, but it's the passage of time, a different scenario that will come around, and probably sometime we love going to office also. I mean, if I work at some point of time, we love going to see and sit and work in office also. And then for some reasons, we want to work from home also because we want to work on a daily basis. Um we want to give in life some time for work and balance other time like that. So, I mean, it's not that one stance can stay for long like that. I'd say. Like
I
that
would
is.
like to add my point on Ankush sir, that as rightly said by you. And what the next point is that this is a time being. So definitely family gonna cooperate with you. But in a long run, are you sure that your family will cooperate for 10 or 15 years? Because what is the difference between the work culture in the office and work culture in the home is that you are adapting yourself in the work culture. In the office, you are trying to adapting yourself, while in the home, you are trying to adapting work in your timing and in your family. So that is the major
see
difference.
yeah Parag. See what I see कि it's better to be something than nothing. अभी कुछ नहीं करने से तो कुछ करना अच्छा है. But when I'll start feeling that now it is hectic for me, I am not able to give my output, or my family is also like मेरे से तंग हो गए, तो I'll stop doing it. ये
Exactly.
क्या बार बार लैपटॉप
Okay,
लेके बैठ जाती.
we are just taking one particular personal example of Jyoti's. I believe we need to take the holistic view. Okay, so she shared a personal example. So I would now prefer that you come up with different points while discussion instead of just constantly questioning her and her choice of work.
Okay, to go
Yours
into a
having-
diverse point, I think that our psyche is very much influenced by the people we are surrounded with. So drive, enthusiasm, motivation is contagious. So if a workplace is amazing, uh, creativity can be contagious by being around people who are driven and focused and on a mission. You can, though you are having a bad day, you woke up on the wrong side of the day, you can uh, completely reset your mindset and get into the battlefield, and this benefit is not available at home. You
Okay.
can't get that environment at home.
All right. All right. Yes, Krishna Kumar, you have something to say.
Yeah, I completely agree with. But what I want to say, if we think for 15 minutes and go for a future, that can we carry this thing work from home in next 20 years, 30 years? It things is somewhat difficult because as we are going ahead with work from home, we are getting bored of it also. We are not getting our friends together. We are not getting the time to go out, and everything changes. And this lifestyle can be continued, I think, for next 20 years or 30 years.
Okay, fine. All right. Great. That was a
my
fantastic
point. Your professional
discussion.
and personal life will be matched.
All right, that's great. See, this is the reason why I took up this topic is because it is very, very debatable and there is no
Yes.
one answer to this. But I think you all had did a fantastic job of bringing out all the points. So my focus was more on the way you spoke rather than your content, okay? Because I'm here for basically for your language rather than your content, obviously. Because today's topic is English basically. So I'd be so this is the reason why I had brought out this group discussion. Earlier, I had thought of bringing out a jam that wherever I'll be giving you each of your topic and you will be speaking. But I thought this is just much more comfortable for you. So I'll get to know your natural style of speaking. Okay. So I'll start by individually giving you your feedbacks. Ria, you did not speak anything?
सॉरी मैम एक्चुअली थोड़ा वो काम हो गया था तो मुझे स्किप करना पड़ा सेशन.
Okay, fine. All right. So maybe in the next topic, you can share something.
Sure.
All right. It'll be beneficial if you all of you could talk so that I can give you individual feedbacks and that would only help you and it just help you improve. Okay, so I had started with Shripad. Shripad, you have fantastic vocabulary. I don't know why you listed vocabulary as part of your weakness. I think you do tend to bring up great words, and they were really well spoken, very to the point, and none of them seemed very fanciful or for the sake of speaking. So I think I should. Okay, Vidhi's microphone is. I'll come to you, Vidhi. Okay. Yes. So that being said, I think you bring in a lot of fillers. So I maybe in the process of speaking certain things or trying to articulate what you're trying to speak, you tend to bring in a lot of fillers. There's a lot of when you're speaking, right? So when you're preparing for a speech, you will have to what you say practice it. So I'm sure you'll do great when you're speaking, but I guess when it comes for the audience questions, at that time there'll be a lot of fillers. So I think you need to practice more on that. Okay, so try to articulate your thoughts in a way where you do not have to bring in a lot of fillers. So one way of doing that is to speak a little slowly. It's okay if you have pauses in between sentences. Actually, I believe that having pauses between sentences helps the audience also to grasp what you're trying to say. Okay, so when you're saying a very relevant point, take a pause. And when you're taking a pause, the audience is also trying to grasp what you said, and at the same time, you're also articulating what you're going to say next. All right, so I think that was very, very well done. The next was, oh yes, Parag, you had started out, you had just, I just 30 seconds kind of intimidated you. You thought your 30 seconds were over when you just spoke one sentence. Your true style came on later on when you were arguing or discussing on the topic. You need to concentrate a little bit on your grammar. Okay, You speak very well. I think you have a very powerful voice. Your tone is good. Your modulation is also very, very good. What you need to concentrate more on is the words that you're speaking, whether you're speaking them correctly or not. Okay. So I could find a few mistakes. I have written them down. Just give me a second. Where are they? Okay, okay, nothing much or nothing major, but yes, you need to concentrate on your grammar. I'll also be giving you tips on how you can improve your grammar at the end of the session. Okay, but well done. I think great points. Your content was pretty strong, I must say. Ankur, fantastic. You have a lovely speech. You speak very well. You speak with conviction. You just need to bring a little bit of emotion in your words. It seemed very monotonous when you were speaking. The words were fantastic. The content was fantastic. What you're trying to speak was fantastic. But you need to start bringing a little more emotion in your words. Okay. In the between, I started getting a little doubt as to, are you reading from somewhere or are you reading from a speech that you've already prepared on this topic? Because the flow was so smooth, but there has to be some variation in your voice. Okay, there has to be some focus. I believe this has also been done with you in body language, how you need to focus on certain words. Like I said, you look gorgeous. So now just notice the way I say gorgeous, right? It means that I feel this. Okay, I'm bringing passion into my words. When you bring passion into your words, the words just don't seem monotonous anymore. So your words are fantastic. You have a fantastic vocabulary. Your speech is excellent. Start bringing a little more passion into what you say. Okay. Next. Yeah, Parth. Where is Parth? Parth is left. Okay, I can't see Parth. All right. Dimple. Is Dimple there? Dimple. Yeah, there she is. Yes, I think you came up with very good points with respect to cost effectiveness and with respect to women. Your speech was also good. Unfortunately, there was not much that I could work on, but maybe in the next topic I'd be able to give you more feedback with respect to that. Yeah, Parth has left. Okay. Krishna Kumar, are you there?
I
Okay,
guess
why are people leaving?
he is also not
Okay,
there.
how come people have left in between? Okay, Jyoti, I was very impressed by your personal example. So when you drive the point home, it just becomes a little more effective when you give your own personal example. But at the same time, you have to be ready for personal attacks as well, because you were the only one who gave the rest of them were all very diplomatic about what they were saying. They were trying to give two sides of the coin. You were very focused because you had a personal example to give. I thought that was very impressive. You have great conviction, you have great power, and you have a great potential to become a great speaker as well. You need to just concentrate on, again, you need to concentrate a little bit on your grammar. Okay, try to articulate sentences in English itself, because fortunately, we'll be doing this in English only. So you cannot bring Hindi words in between. So try to concentrate on making sentences using just English words, and at the same time trying to be more effective. Okay. Coming to Ruchi, I think you spoke very well. You also have great conviction when you speak. Again, there were very simple, very basic grammatical mistakes in what you were saying. For example, I working from home, that's what you said, instead of I am working from home, right? There are certain basic, very basic, small things. When you're speaking, you probably don't realize it, but when I'm listening to it, I immediately and the thing is, I also teach English, so this thing comes to me more naturally, that I tend to pinpoint on the grammatical mistakes that you make. So if you want to have a perfect speech, the thing is that the reason why your speech has to be perfect is because you do not want the audience to concentrate anything other than your topic. Okay, so that is the reason why your body language has to be on point. So if you're constantly doing this while speaking, so even though your content is perfect, your speech is great, your modulation is great, but this just simply doing this action while you're speaking, it just distracts the audience, and then the focus is entirely shifted from what you're speaking to what you're doing. Similarly, when it comes to grammatical mistakes, it's the same thing. Okay, so try to focus more, or try to be more vigilant with respect to how you're saying things.
Yes, sure.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
So are we ready for the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's 5:30. I think we still have 30 minutes of time. I'll give you one topic and then we will shift to all the tips that I have for you to improve your grammar and not vocabulary. Also vocabulary, but more on grammar. Okay, so the next topic is where are my topics? One second.
Can we move directly to the tips instead of going for second topic?
Yes, ma'am. I also think so. We need more that exercise.
Yes.
You want more tips?
More tips.
All
Yes.
right. Okay, fine. Then we will come to more tips then. All
Yes.
right. Okay.
Thank you.
So grammar tips. I'll come to grammar tips then. Hmm. Okay, so when you're writing down your speech, it is always now this is purely from a public speaking point of view. Whenever you have to deliver a presentation, you'll be writing it down. I would suggest that you write down using your app, okay, rather than written notes. Why? Because number one, you can use apps like Grammarly. Have you heard of the app called Grammarly? Yes, I will strongly suggest to you to download this app. It not only gives you suggestions when you're writing your reports or whatever, but also it gives you suggestions when you're writing your emails. Grammarly is much better than the Microsoft Office Assistant, because Assistant, basically there are just certain words feed it into Assistant, and it just gives you recommendations when you have written a wrong spelling. Other than that, I don't think it gives any recommendation when you've written the wrong tense or you're not writing the proper word. Grammarly also gives you options whenever you want to write a word and you want to write a better word as compared to the one that you have written. It gives you option to choose that word also, so make it more effective. Okay, so that is one tip that you can use when you're writing down your speech. Use an app called like Grammarly to write down your speech to make it more grammatically correct. Okay, that's number one. Number two, now the tenses in the English language, there are 16 tenses. Okay, simple tense, future tense, past tense, perfect tense, all of these tenses. There are 16 tenses. But in order to speak effectively, there are just a few basic tenses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are just 6 basic tenses. If you master these 6 basic tenses, I think you will be pretty much well off. Then the other tenses would not be that difficult. So you want me to write down those tenses for you? Which are the 6 basic tenses that you need to take care of? Yes?
In the chat box?
Okay. I'll write it down in the chat box.
Okay.
Or one second, instead of the chat box, what I can do is I can share a blank Word document and write it there. Okay. If you are able to see my Word document?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first one is the simple present tense. Okay, I'll just list down the tenses first and then I'll give you resources from which you can learn. Okay, the first one is the simple present tense. The next one is the past tense. Then the next is the present perfect tense. This is one of the more difficult ones, okay, to master. Then comes the past perfect tense. Then comes the present continuous tense. Okay, and the last is the future tense. These are the 6 basic tenses that you would need to master. Yes, anybody has a doubt? Jyoti?
Ma'am, would you be sharing this later on, or you want us to note it down?
You can note it down.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Now, where do you need, which are the resources that you need to learn these basic tenses? Okay, so the first one is obviously YouTube. Okay, and in YouTube also I will tell you, uh, first, whenever you want to learn a tense, firstly what you need to do is to note down the rules as to where this tense is applicable. Now, if I give you the example of simple present tense, where is it applicable? It is applicable where you're talking about habits, where you're talking about things that you do daily. For example, I walk daily, I drive daily, I go to office daily. Okay, any habits when you're talking about nature. So now all of these rules for applying these tenses, where can you get those rules? You can get it from Grammar Monster. Okay, there is a blog known as Grammar Monster. Okay, you type in this particular tense and you go to Grammar Monster and then you read that blog. There are very, very good videos, excellent videos, and in a very nice interface. You'll not get bored at all. Okay, so and you can also read blogs by Grammarly. Grammarly also has blogs with respect to particular tenses. So that's where you come to know of the rules. Then comes applicability, how you will write those sentences. That you can do from goenglish.tv. Okay, that is a YouTube channel, goenglish.tv. So now whenever you're trying to master a particular tense, first you go through the rules. What are the rules of applicability? कहाँ use करते हैं? Okay, and then you go to the applicability. कैसे उसके sentences लिखते हैं? Okay, so like I said, I swim every Tuesday. Okay, हर Tuesday को मैं swimming करती हूँ. So I swim every Tuesday. But when I'm talking about someone else, so if I'm talking about Parag, I'll say Parag swims every Tuesday. So you need to know the difference between the usage of the verb. कहाँ पे swim आता है, कहाँ पे swims आता है, पीछे s कब आता है. Okay. So now this are the rules of applicability of any particular tense. Many times we do not realize it. Now, native English speakers, people who use English, it's similar to a first language, did not realize that this is how they are speaking. But those who have English as a second language, or you are from Gujarati medium and now you are speaking English more, or you're not very comfortable with speaking in English, these are the things where we tend to make mistakes. Okay, so when you're knowing the rules of applicability and you know how to apply, it just becomes, life becomes much more simpler. Once you're done with rules and once you know how you need to apply, now you can go on to the questionnaire. Okay, you say, for example, again, simple present tense worksheet that you need to type in Google, and पूरे के पूरे आपको exercises आ जाएंगे which you can self assess. आपको आंसर्स देने हैं, fill in the blanks होंगे where you need to type in, and then check answers, and it will give you where you are wrong and where you are right and why you are wrong. Okay, so these are the tools that you can use to improve your tenses, the knowledge of tenses. Clear, all of you? So that is how you can do tenses. Next comes pronunciations. All right. Next, okay. For next comes, sorry, vocabulary. Now, for what do you need to do for vocabulary? You have no other option but to read. Okay, I don't know what kind of books you read, or whether you read the newspaper, or whether you prefer reading from an app like Facebook or Economic Times. They have apps. Indian Express has an app. I would strongly suggest that you read at least one article, one editorial from any newspaper that you like. Okay, now this editorial may be with respect to any area of your interest. So it may be with respect to Bollywood, it may be with respect to finance, it may be with respect to accounts, it can be with respect to anything. Read one article every day. And now you will find many words that you didn't know. Don't get overwhelmed. Just choose one word. Just stick to one word from that article which you did not know the meaning of and now you would like to know. Okay, now वो word को पकड़ो, पहले उसको Google में डालो. Google में डालते ही there is a small sound icon. You want to see? Have you used it ever? Just a second, I will share my Google with you. Okay, you can see my Google search page over here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, if you want to know what is the word that you would like to know the meaning of, for example, say, okay, someone said sneaky. All right. Now I'm putting in sneaky. Sneaky, of course, meaning. Now, when you go into sneaky meaning, one way where you can know the pronunciation is through YouTube. You will get a link over here showing the pronunciation. Because this is a verb, it is not showing there is a small sound icon next to it, which shows the pronunciation. Normally, if you put in a noun, तो उसका sound icon के बाजू में, for example, if I put in, say,
Just put the sneak, ma'am. It will show.
yes, see, for example, disposition. See, now there is a sound icon over here. If I press it,
Disposition.
it will show the pronunciation of that particular word. Okay, so this is how you can do it. Whatever word that you have, you can put it in, and here Google itself will give you the pronunciation. Where you cannot find the pronunciation, find it through YouTube. That's number one. Find how to pronounce the word. Secondly, find how to use the word. So now what you can type in is sentences with the word disposition. Okay, and it will give you all the usages of disposition. Okay, are you clear? So that is how you know different words. Now start using that word in your, at least दिन में 2 sentences आपको बोलने हैं जिसमें ये word use होगा. That is how you can practice. Okay, clear? So that is one way. So pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar. Now in grammar also there are very basic things that you need to know. I think that many people have a problem with articles also. कि कहाँ a आता है, कहाँ an आता है, कहाँ the आता है. So for that also you can put it into Google and it will give you an entire list of where you can use the, where a is supposed to be used and where an is supposed to be used. Okay, so wherever you have a problem, try to specifically specify that problem into Google and it will give you various answers in which you can use. But I think you can start out with tenses. Okay, start using functional phrases into your conversations, the one that I have shared. In your speeches, start using power words. Start using power words that evoke reactions. It will just make your speech much more impactful. Okay, any questions that you have? With respect to English or anything else?
How we can improve the fluency?
Fluency can be improved only by practicing speaking. So you have to identify a few people in your circle with whom you will only speak in English, because just listening and reading would not improve your fluency. You'll have to practice by speaking. So either you identify some person, it can be your husband or it can be your child or it can be your parents, it can be your friend. Just tell them that from now on, I'm just going to speak in English with you. So the more you practice speaking, the more you will be comfortable with the language, the more it will be easier for you to articulate sentences in English. That is the only way that you can do it. Start listening more, start listening to English. So whatever you are comfortable with, whether it's a web series or it's the English news channel, whatever is comfortable for you, start doing that, and gradually it will happen. But you'll have to be very consistent with it.
How many small references that can give you a level of confidence you know in entirety all the rules about English like that?
I'm sorry, your voice was breaking. I could
Any
not.
small, okay. I am trying to learn small references. Usually once you have the rules of English language like that. Should I type?
Yeah, I'm really not able
I'll-
to understand what you're
Okay,
saying.
okay.
I'm so
I'll
sorry.
type it. I'll type.
Okay. Yes, Shripad.
Yes, ma'am. I was just wondering if you could recommend some excellent forums where we can practice our public speaking or just speak English speaking.
Okay, so there is an international forum known as the Toastmasters, and they do have an Ahmedabad chapter as well. All of you are from Ahmedabad? Okay. Toastmasters mostly, I think there is Baroda also. I think all major cities, and there is an online forum also. You can just search for it. You can research. Toastmasters is basically a public speaking forum. What happens is, of course, before the pandemic, they used to meet every Sunday or Saturday because it mostly consists of professionals. Okay, working professionals. In fact, I was part of the group, and we had executive directors and directors coming from TCS, coming from Zydus. There were many people who are part of this organization, this particular a community. Basically, it's a club. You can be a part of it, very nominal fees. You can meet every week. You need to prepare a speech and you go, and every member gets an opportunity to speak, and then feedback is given by the others who are present there. So how they found your speech, whether it was captivating, whether it was okay, whether you started out right, the ending was bad, whatever it is, they will give you individual feedback, and that is how you improve. So you can be a part of a forum like Toastmasters. They also have international competitions. Any referencer which helps us have confidence that we know all the rules of the language? Oh, that is a little tough. I'm not too sure if there is one particular handbook which gives you all the rules of the language. Normally, it is said Wren and Martin is a complete book in itself, but it's very difficult to grasp. So whenever I take English sessions, I tell you pack up your Wren and Martin and माड़िया में रख दो या तो फिर आप फेंक दो क्योंकि कोई काम का नहीं है. All the rules of language is very difficult to master. What probably you can master is the number of words that you know in that particular language. For you, I believe that you are pretty much proficient with your grammar. So what you can concentrate on is knowing new words and applicability of new words in your speech. And that can only be done through reading a lot of material. Okay. If you go through reference books.
That helps actually. Reading really brings out that improvisation. But you always have think ki, as you said, Wren and Martin is always there in the cupboard only like that.
Yeah,
So
but it's very difficult because if you have a specific concern, you can go into that book and you can search for it, that whether this thing is proper or not. But essay a pura reference book, it's very difficult to study. I don't know. It is very difficult to study the entire book.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, then I had a few topics for group discussion, but that's okay. You anyways would be practicing your public speeches. So I think we are done for the day. If there is anything else that you would like to take up, because I'll be coming tomorrow as well. Tomorrow I'll be doing tips for handling audiences. how you can have a good interaction with them, how to handle audience queries. What if there is a very hostile audience member who is bent upon questioning your content knowledge, what you do? Okay, so we'll be addressing all of these questions tomorrow. If you have any other questions with respect to that also, you can just prepare them and we can discuss that tomorrow. Okay, that is the reason why I'm telling you the topic beforehand. So I do have a lot of things prepared, but in case you are talking about any specific query, it would be great if you could just note that down and we could discuss that query tomorrow. All right. See, English is something that 2 hours are very less for me to, elaborate much on that. The only thing that I can do is give you tips as to how you can improve further. Okay, so thank you very much. We are done for the day. See you tomorrow at 4. I'll definitely be logging in on time tomorrow. We have a lot to discuss, and I'm sure I'll have a lot of queries as well. So thank you. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Rules for tenses I do not have readily with me, but you can definitely get it from Google, the blogs that I had mentioned.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.